Well, students, this is one of the most important lessons in your grammar. I have written today conditional clause and we will be discussing the different rules that you can find in this clause here. Now, clause is really a very important lesson, and it is very difficult to identify whether this is a clause or a phrase. Now, just basic example I am giving you about phrase and clause. Now, when you study phrase, then you can better understand that it is just a grammatical unit. It's a grammatical unit without having any subject or verb, specific finite. Now you may cite the example of the phrase in the sky. Now this is just a grammatical unit, you do not have any subject and verb here. Now phrase can give you meaning, but not 100% meaning. Are you able to understand? So this is just part of the sentence, which can provide a meaning but not ample meaning, so that you can understand it. Because there is no instance of here finite verb and any subject here. For example, under the tree. Look at here, I have not selected any finite verb, and without verb you cannot make your sentence 100% complete, because verb plays an integral part in a sentence. Without verb you cannot make sentence. But the difference of clause from phrase is same. Clause is a short sentence. It's a kind of sentence. It's a short sentence having a subject and a finite verb. In clause, you will find a subject and a finite verb. And obviously, if you find subject plus finite verb, then it can provide you meaning, and it can be called as a sentence also. For example, Ram is a good student. Now I have selected one subject plus there is one finite verb, and it is giving you 100% meaning also. But there are some clauses which may not give you 100% meaning. So there are two different clauses also. One is main clause, another one subordinate clause. Main clause is known as your independent clause or principal clause, and subordinate is known as your dependent clause. Now we will be coming back to main and subordinate before we complete this. Let me make it very much clear about main clause and subordinate clause. Now in a sentence, more than one clause can be there also. I will just showing you how in a sentence more than one clause can be there. It's a long sentence where two clauses are combined. Now the toy which I got for my child is broken. This is a single sentence where two clauses are combined. Let me differentiate between your NC main clause and SC subordinate clause. Now In order to identify your clause, I told you that you better select one subject and take one finite one. Okay. Now, if I take this subject, the toy, and if I select the finite one here, and the verb is broken here, the toy is broken. And this part, if I read it out, then I am getting 100% meaning here. The toy is broken. This is basic form. The toy is broken. Now another part is studied, which I want for my child. There is one pronoun or subject. Plus you find also finite verb, but this part will not give you 100% meaning. Which I want for my child. Are you able to get the meaning? No. You are getting meaning, but not 100% meaning. But here, at least you are getting meaning here. The toy is broken. So here also you have subject pronoun plus finding verb also. But still you do not find complete sense. So I told you that clause can give you 100% meaning also, and it may not give you also. But in clause you must identify one subject or pronoun plus one predicate. So any clause which can provide you 100% meaning is known as your principal clause. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to all of you? So any clause which can provide you 100% meaning, 100% meaning, that clause can be known as the principal clause. The rest will become your SC, subordinate or dependent clause. Now, dependent clauses are of different types, and one of the aspects of dependent clause we'll study today about conditional clause. Is it clear? So conditional clause also, it's a part of your dependent clause, because conditional clause will give you meaning but not 100% meaning. Let us study the different aspects of conditional clauses. Now, let me give you one thing very much clear. What is conditional clause? All you understand condition means agreement. Now, this is otherwise known as your if clause also. Students can come to know conditional clause also can be called as your if clause. Now, see the uses. If I go to school I shall meet my friends. After semicolon, this is one clause and this is one clause. So two clauses are combined here. So I told you that it is very easy to identify which is conditional clause. Is it clear? Now any sentence which starts with if, this is known as your conditional clause. Any clause which starts with if is known as your conditional clause. Now you see this aspect after semicolon part, you just read it out. If I go to school, now this conditional clause, it is giving you meaning but not 100% meaning. But this part you just study, I shall meet my friends. Now it is giving you 100% meaning. So this is known as your principal clause or mean clause. This is MC and this is your SC, or you can say if clause also. Is it clear? Now I will be teaching you about the different types of conditional clauses and the usage of tense form. Now, first of all, we can study. Let me write the chart for you on board so that it will be very easy to understand. First, we will be going with the types Then there will be coming back conditional clause and the main clause. You see the changes of tense form. In previous lesson I told you about the tense form, which will be very much helpful to understand this one. Now basically when we study conditional clause, there are three different types. First one is type 0. In type 0 what happens? In conditional form you find the use of present and simple form. And I told you also how to understand present and simple form in a sentence. In type 0, in conditional part you find present simple. Your main clause to be built again by using present simple. Now in type 1, again you get the use of present simple. In next part you can use either shall, will plus V1. I will be citing examples for you also. Another one, this is known as your type 2. Here you get the use of past simple. Next part to be filled by would, might plus V1. Now number D, that is known as your type 3. So in type 3 you get the use of past perfect in your conditional perfect clause. Your main clause to be built by using would, might plus have plus P3. So this is the structure to understand the different types of conditional clauses. Type 0, type 1, type 2, and type 3. I will cite an example for type 0 and type 1 because in both the cases in conditional part you get the use of present simple. So how a child can come to know whether the next clause should be built by present simple or shall be plus V1. So it is very much essential for all of you to understand, study your sentence, try to recognize it whether this is type 0 or type 1. Very simple thing I will give you how to understand type 0. Now any sentence which is based on your scientific fact or universal truth. If your sentence is it based on any scientific fact or universal truth, and you get the usage of present and simple, so next part to be filled by also present simple. For example, I told you just keep it in your mind, scientific fact or universal truth. For example, if I hit iron, it expert. Now, whenever you study, if I hit iron, this is the present tense simple form. So how will you come to know? Because you get again in type 1 also present tense simple form. Once you understand this is type 1, then you will select your shall be plus V1. V1 already it is given. Every V1 form it will be given to you. So I told you that in your sentence, you just read out your sentence very clearly. Carefully you read it out. If you think your statement is based on any scientific fact or universal truth, so immediately you have to use also simple present, because this is belonging to type 0 condition. Is it clear? Now if I hit iron, obviously if you hit iron, then it will explode. So this particular statement, it is based on your scientific fact. So now instead of using shall only, you can simply write it expands. Why the verb gases? Because the pronoun it is in third person singular number, and you know it very well that whenever your subject or pronoun, if it is in third person singular number also, in simple form present tense, your verb will take as a yes form. So it is clear to all of you. Now once you come to know type 0, so obviously it will be easy for you to understand the figure will cross. Now type 1, another statement I am showing you. If I go Puri, I dash, this is what I am given here, Lord Jagannath. If I go to Puri, Puri is in Odisha and Puri is famous for Lord Jagannath temple. So if I go to Puri, I dash, this is Lord Jagannath. Now, whenever you are reading, because again you get the present tense simple form. Once you are mistaken to identify the type, suppose if a child identified this is type 0, then obviously the child will select again present tense simple form. So you have to understand whether it is type 1 or type 0, because there is great confusion in type 0 and type 1. Now, whenever I am reading this statement, if I go to Puri, so I do not find whether I don't care. This is because this is not based on any scientific fact in a version. Is it based on any scientific fact? No. If I go to Puri, so simply I can understand there is the usage of present tense simple form. This is not at all based on scientific fact. So of course I have to select shall or will plus V1. So you can select I shall plus the V1 form, which are it down. So I shall is it. So look at the difference. So once you are very much clear, only keep it in your mind that type 0, whenever you get the use of present tense simple form, you just read it very carefully and know it whether the statement in or it is referring to any scientific fact or universal. If not so, then go with the shall or will plus V1. Because this will be your type 1. Is it clear? Type 0 and type 1. Now, in type 2, what happens you say? In type 2 condition, if I went to my uncle's house, I guess if I went to my uncle's house, I guess meet my grandparents there. Now you see the usage of past and simple form, and this past and simple form only you can find it out in your type 2. So if once you notice simple past, then blindly you can do it. Who could mind any one of it, any model you select, then the V1 will be given to you in exam. This is the V1 form. So what can be your answer? If I went to my uncle's house, simply nothing you are doing, you select any one of it, any model might be just. And as usual, just write down the given V1 form, could might plus V1. Because once you are able to identify your tense form, So it will be very much easy to understand the type. Once you understand the type, it will be very much easy to answer the question. Now in type 3 similarly, you have to use a past perfect. For one example I am showing you. In type 3 you see, if I had what had I best get good marks. If I had worked hard. Now in past perfect, I told you that if you notice had plus V3, then this will be your past perfect. Once you understand the tense, then you will be able to understand the time also. Then if you use the past perfect in type 3, so you are automatically coming to know this is type 3. This is the past perfect. So main plus to be written by either would, might plus, and plus P3. So what I have to select? Would, could, might first. Would plus have compulsory I have to select. Would, have, and the given verb get. Now if I have to use get, got. Would have got good marks. The answer will be I would have got good marks, because once you are able to understand the type, so this is in type 3, so main plus to be filled by either would or might plus have plus V3. Is it clear to all of you? I hope all the types, basically the structure that you have to learn, you just mug it up, learn the structure at home, so that in my next session I will be coming with some exercises for you, so that you will be able to understand this lesson, this particular chapter very clearly. Thank you.